When the Armistice was signed in June 1940, thousands of French aircraft were frozen in time. Across the countryside, airfields became graveyards for machines that had only just begun to fight. Some were sabotaged by their crews, engines choked with sand and fire. Others were seized by the Luftwaffe, their tricolor roundels painted over with the Iron Cross. Yet, for many, the story didn't end on the tarmac. From the hangars of Provence to the strips of North Africa, pilots staged a great escape. They pushed D-520s to their limits across the sea and steered heavy bombers through the night to join the Free French in England. The tragedy of French aviation in World War II wasn't a failure of genius. The LEO 451 and the Bloch 174 were masterpieces of their era. The failure was a brutal race against the clock, a battle of production that France simply ran out of time to win. This is the chronicle of every French plane that rose to meet the storm. These are the fighters, the heavy hitters, and the prototypes that haunt the history books. Morane-Saulnier MS 406. The Stalwart. The backbone of the defense. It was France's first true modern monoplane, featuring a retractable undercarriage and a closed canopy. While it was a pilot's dream to fly, its 300-mile-per-hour top speed made catching the German invaders a desperate challenge. Dewoitine D-520, the jewel of the air. Known as the French Spitfire, it was the pinnacle of Gallic design. Sleek, aggressive, and armed with a 20mm nose cannon, it was the only machine capable of looking a Messerschmitt Bf 109 in the eye and not blinking. Bloch 152, the Radial brute. While others were elegant, the 152 was a street fighter. Built around a massive radial engine, it had a snub-nosed profile and a rugged airframe that could soak up damage like a flying tank. Curtiss Hawk 75. The American Thoroughbred. Though born in the States, it became a French hero. Pilots loved its light handling and reliable engine. In the chaotic dogfights of 1940, the Hawk proved it was a world-class predator. Arsenal VG-33, the wooden masterpiece. A ghost of what could have been. Constructed from wood to save strategic metals, it was faster than the D-520 and handled like a dream. It was a masterpiece of aerodynamics that arrived just as the curtain fell. Caudron C-714, the lightweight Contender. A racer's soul in a fighter's body. Designed for rapid mass production, it was fast but notoriously fragile and underpowered. A desperate gamble in a desperate hour. Potez 630 and 631, the Heavy Hunters. France's twin-engine answer to the heavy fighter. Though plagued by temperamental engines, the 631 found its glory in the dark as a night fighter, prowling the skies when the single-engine scouts had gone to ground. Bloch MB-151, the younger sibling, the predecessor to the brawny 152. Lacking the engine power of its successor, it was mostly used for training until the Blitzkrieg forced every available gun into the sky. Dewoitine D-510, the last of the old guard. A relic from a simpler time. With its fixed gear and open cockpit, it was a museum piece by 1940. Yet, in the distant colonies, it was the only shield against the coming storm. LEO 451, the high-speed Predator. A medium bomber that could outrun fighters. With its twin tails and a lethal rear-facing cannon, it was designed for lightning-fast, low-level strikes against enemy armor, a world-class machine in a world at war. Breguet 693, the low-level Menace. A twin-engine ground attacker that lived in the dirt. Its crews flew with breathtaking courage, skimming the treetops to drop bombs directly onto panzer divisions. It was the Mosquito of France, but it arrived in too few numbers to turn the tide. Amiot 143, the Gothic giant. Often called the ugliest plane in the sky, it looked like a flying greenhouse. By 1940, this slow-moving dinosaur was hopelessly outmatched, yet its crews flew into the night, refusing to stay grounded. Farman F-222, the Midnight Titan, a massive four-engine bomber with a unique push-pull engine configuration. Despite its archaic looks, it holds the honor of being the first Allied aircraft to drop bombs on Berlin, a defiant strike in the dark of 1940. Bloch M174, the Ghost of Reconnaissance, the finest twin-engine aircraft France ever produced. It flew so high and so fast that German interceptors could only watch it pass. It was the favorite mount of the philosopher pilot Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Douglas DB-7, the Western export. Known to the Allies as the Boston, these fast light bombers were ordered in bulk. Only a handful saw action before the fall, but they proved their worth in the heat of battle. Barton 167, Maryland, the versatile veteran. Another American import that the French crews came to rely on. Its service history is a tragic one, often caught in the crossfire of colonial conflicts long after the home front had fallen. Loire-Nieuport LN-401, the dive specialist. With its inverted gull wings, this was France's answer to the Stuka. Brave pilots pushed these slow machines into vertical dives over the Meuse River, trying to shatter the bridges of the German advance. Potez 6311, the Observer, the most numerous scouts in the sky. With its glass nose, it watched the world burn from above, providing the vital intelligence that the retreating armies so desperately needed. Caudron C-445, Goéland, the reliable Gull, a sleek transport that became the workhorse of the era. Whether carrying mail, wounded soldiers, or high-ranking generals, the Goéland served faithfully under every flag it flew. Arsenal Delanne 10, the Tandem Vision, a prototype that looked like a dream of the future. Its unique wing layout provided unmatched stability and visibility. It was a glimpse into a French aviation industry that refused to stop innovating, even under the shadow of defeat. SEE-100, the heavily armed monster, a massive tricycle-gear heavy fighter designed to shred anything in its path. Though it never saw combat, it stood as a symbol of French ambition, a dream of power that was silenced by the Armistice. The story of the French Air Force in 1940 is not just a tale of what was lost, but of what was attempted. These aircraft were the symbols of a nation's soul forged in steel, wood, and an unyielding will to remain free. They were flown by men who knew the odds and chose to climb into the cockpit anyway. From the elegant curves of the Dewoitine to the boxy defiance of the Farman, these wings remain etched in the clouds of history. They remind us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the spirit of flight is a spirit that never truly surrenders.